So today's video is one I'm really excited about because I get to sit down with you and share with you guys some of my current favorite things. I honestly have a little bit of everything. I have books, music, Bible things, I have makeup, skincare, hair stuff, kitchen stuff, medicine cabinet things, random clothes things, and a home decor thing. A little bit of everything. So I'm excited to chat with you guys about everything that I have been loving recently. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad to have you. My name is Dana, and my typical content here on the channel is homeschool related. So I love sharing our homeschooling journey, curriculum reviews, what we're using, things like that. And I also do kind of like biblical motherhood encouragement, simple living, thrifting, and all those things. But if that's something that interests you, I'd love to have you stick around and join our family. With all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. So I thought I would go ahead and start off today's video with skincare. I'm going to share with you my complete evening routine and my complete morning routine. So for my evening routine, I love doing a double cleanse, and these two cleansers are two that I have used for exclusively for probably 3 years now. But it is the remedies, I think that's how you pronounce it, I could be wrong, but it is the gentle foaming cleansing oil. This is what I use every single night to remove makeup, and then after I use this, I will go in with the purifying foaming cleanser, which is this one right here. I have used these two cleansers exclusively for, again, probably 3 years now, and as you can tell, they're empty. They're probably one of my most repurchased items, but they're actually large containers, and I want to say they average anywhere from like $15 to $19. It could be, it depends if they're on sale or not. I normally wait till they're on sale and then get two because they do last quite a while, and they're big. So they're not little tiny bottles. As you can tell, they're pretty good size. There's no fragrance. They're very gentle on my skin, and I've just had a lot of good experience with this brand in general. So anyway, at night I will use the cleansers, and then something that I do almost every night, not in the winter because my skin tends to be a lot drier, but definitely in the summer I'll average about 3 to 4 nights per week, and that is the liquid exfoliant from Paula's Choice. This was also one of those items that was in my last favorites video because I love it. It's really kept its place in my skincare routine, especially in my my night skincare. So in the evenings I will cleanse my skin thoroughly. I will put this on. Typically when I use a liquid exfoliant, I will put this on and let it set for about 5 minutes. So I'll put it on, and then I'll go about like helping the kiddos get ready for bed and things like that, winding down our evening, and then I'll come back in for my next step. And that is simply just moisturizer mixed with a couple of oils. And this is also the Le Roger Posay Triple Repair Moisturizing Cream. This is, again, another beautiful moisturizer if you have sensitive skin. There's no fragrance, it's gentle, extremely hydrating, and I have just loved this. I've used it exclusively for about 3 years now. Love, love, love it. So what I've been doing is I had this oil, and it doesn't have the lid anymore because I lost it, or it popped off and then it got thrown away. I don't know what happened to it to be exact. But I will add a few drops of this into my nighttime moisturizer routine. And this is from, it's called the Good Oil Face Oil. It's from the Organic Skin Company. I think that's what it's called. But this is the honeysuckle and turmeric. This does a beautiful, beautiful job in just keeping my skin really clear. I believe it's the turmeric in here that's doing that. But all it takes is maybe 2, maybe 3 drops, and I will take 2 or 3 drops and mix it in with my moisturizer, and then rub it into my skin, my neck, and things like that, my face, my neck, and things like that. I love this. This is actually my 3rd bottle of this, so I love it enough to actually consistently use it, enough for 3 bottles. So I've used it for almost 2 years because you only need a little bit, and I love this oil. It's wonderful, and it smells really good too. It's the honeysuckle in it, so it just makes it for a fun experience of putting it on my skin, and I notice a huge difference when I do put it on as far as the clarity and the brightness and things like that. So that is what I use for moisturizer, is this and this kind of together. And then the last thing I do at night is I will put castor oil all over my face, my neck. I also use this as a little bit of a detox, so I'll put it under my arms, I'll put it on my belly button. I use castor oil for everything. If I am having any type of an earache or anything like that, it goes around my ear. Anything I can use it for, I will use it for. So I go through a lot of castor oil. But what I ended up doing for skincare specifically is I got smaller dropper bottles, and so I'll take the bigger bottle and make my own little mixtures using the dropper bottle. So I highly recommend doing it that way. I always get the larger things of castor oil because I do use it for so much, not just like a facial oil, but I love it. This makes the most beautiful, like even kind of eye oil, if you want to call it that. I don't use any eye creams or anything like that. I only use castor oil as my main kind of, I don't know, everywhere, all the time oil. So I love castor oil. I've used it exclusively as like my heavy, what other people might call a night cream. I've used it as my quote unquote night cream for probably 4 years straight now. And it's all I use as far as that rich emollient oil. So I love it so much, and I like using the droppers. What I will do, especially in the winter, if my skin is really dry, I will take a couple of days if I'm either not wearing makeup or if I'm just wanting my skin to breathe, is I have another one of these in my bathroom, and it's mixed with, it has the castor oil in it. I also added jojoba oil, I think rosehip seed oil, if that is, I think that's what it's called, and things like that. And so it has a combination, and I think, oh, and I believe frankincense oil. So I have like 4 different oils in the bottle. And so on the days I'm just letting my skin completely breathe, I will just use that oil, and it is beautiful, and I love it. It's like having a really fancy facial done only at home with beautiful ingredients. So I love castor oil. I've talked a lot about it, just it being one of my all-time favorites. My favorite skin treatments is something I do every night, is castor oil. I will say in the morning I do not put any oil on if I am doing makeup. So my morning skincare routine, is I will wash my face lightly with just the oil cleanser, because I'm not wearing makeup. I just need something soft and gentle to wipe off, you know, whatever remaining skincare I had on, so the oil or anything like that. I found that most of the time though, with the oils, they soak into my skin really well. So when I wash my face in the morning, there really isn't that much to wash off. So I only use a tiny bit of this in the morning. And the only other thing I do in the morning is the moisturizer, and that is it. That's my entire morning skincare. I guess I could do more like serums and stuff. I just am not into that anymore. I try to keep it fairly minimal. And I will say this as a morning moisturizer, if you do wear makeup, it works beautifully under makeup. This is actually very naturally glowy, and so this is a really beautiful base to wear under any type of makeup or anything like that. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful on the skin. So that is everything skincare related. I thought I would go ahead and talk about hair things. This might be a little bit boring because hair products aren't really my thing. One of my all-time favorite shampoo companies, and as far as their products go, and that works really well for my hair, is the Earthling company, or the Earthling Co. It's I believe that's the name of it, but they have like the solid shampoo and the solid conditioner bars. They are beautiful, and they work so well. And I want to say the sandalwood one, and I don't know if it's just because of this different scents that they put in them or what it is, but the sandal one specifically works best for my hair. I have tried other scents, and for some reason I only really ever went back to that one. It was a brand that I repurchased, I want to say 3 times, and I purchased them because after my last baby I was experiencing a lot of postpartum hair loss, so I wanted to find something that did not have any type of preservatives in it really, and I saw that like solid shampoo bars and conditioners didn't have all those preservatives and stuff in it that liquid shampoo did. So I went and switched, and I saw incredible results. I've like stopped my hair loss within like just several times of using it. My hair just like magically stopped falling out, which was incredible for postpartum hair loss. So I stayed with it for months. And the only reason why I stopped using it is, I'm going to be honest, is the product is beautiful, but it was incredibly difficult to keep these 2 bars from completely disintegrating in my shower. I tried the fancy bags that kept them neat and tidy. I've tried just using them in the shower and then bringing them out, putting them on a paper towel to dry. I've tried the soap bars or the soap like the wooden dishes where you can just let them dry on there. But for some reason, no matter what I did, they would disintegrate very quickly, and I felt like it was no longer worth the money because they're very pricey in my opinion. I was paying, I want to say $15 per bar, so that was $30 for shampoo and conditioner, only to have it disintegrate a third of the way through. That part was a little frustrating. The only reason why I'm saying that is I love the shampoo, and if you do know of a way to keep them from disintegrating a third of the way through and really having a difficult using them past that first like dozen washes, please let me know, because I love the brand. I could no longer justify the price for not like having it last that long. Anyways, all that to say is I love the shampoo bars, but what I ended up switching to that was definitely more economical and honestly works really, really well is the Desert Essence, the coconut shampoos. I have shared these before on my channel quite a few times, and I've shared that the coconut ones, and they also have like a green apple one that is incredible. And I want to say I discovered these when I was looking for a dupe for a very expensive brand that I could not justify spending money on, but a lot of people were talking about the results and everything like that. So I decided to give this one a try, and it was incredible. I love the coconut one, especially the coconut conditioner. It's just very rich, hydrating, and I love it. And it's very affordable too. My favorite place to get Desert Essence is on iHerb. I will link down below. I probably will not link the Amazon link for these because you can get it much cheaper, not on Amazon. So I'll link the iHerb for these because it's very affordable. I have tried a lot of different scents from them. I think I've tried like the grape one. I didn't love that one for some reason. Not just because of the scent, just because my hair didn't like it as much. But this one works beautifully, like specifically the coconut one. And then the green apple one was also really, really nice. So for hair mousse, hair gel, and hair styling products, this is another thing that is always kind of frustrating for me because my hair really has a mind of its own. To be honest, it just does. Every time I wash it or every time I do something with it, it just decides to do something different every day. And I'm like, it's all right. So yes, I'm going to share with you a couple products that I switched to fairly recently. By recently, I mean probably 2 months ago. And I love these two products. I'm probably not going to be jumping around trying to find something that works better anytime soon, just because I found something that I actually really enjoy now. I have tried a lot of different mousses, gels, something that would keep my hair tamed because my hair is naturally, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not necessarily super curly. It's not just wavy. So it needs product in it to keep it under control. So I tried a lot of different mousses, a lot of different gels and creams, and they all claim that they're going to be, you know, amazing. But I also didn't want something that was going to keep my hair like super crispy. Like I don't like it to be crunchy. So what I ended up discovering is I saw this brand, I want to say on Instagram I came across it. Was it Relux or Relux or something like that? And I saw the claims and I saw how they claim that their products don't leave their hair crunchy, but just leaves it that soft curly type feel. I'm like, this is what I'm looking for. And so I clicked on it and I saw how expensive it was. And I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for because I'm like, I cannot justify spending this much on hair products. It's just not what I'm interested in. So anyway, I did some more research and I ended up discovering a couple of dupes for that product. But that is a Cantu Weightless Smooth and Hold Gel and the Moisturizing Curl Activation Cream. And these are very similar to the, I want to say it's Trelux, T-R-E-L-U-X-E. Let me know if I'm misspelling that or mispronouncing that. If you've used it, also, I'd love to know if you like it. Anyways, I saw these were very similar in ingredients. However, they are a fraction of the price. They are extremely affordable and I love them. I love them. What I've been doing and how I've been using these is as soon as I get out of the shower, I will put a little bit of the Moisturizing Curl Activator Cream in. And then after I put some of this, I'll run it through my hair. I will then flip my hair over into like 100% cotton, just old t-shirt, and let it air dry for about 25-30 minutes. So if I'm taking a shower in the morning, I'll typically put this in it, throw my hair up in a t-shirt and then come out and start cooking breakfast and things like that. And then in about 20-30 minutes after it's kind of air dried, I will go in with the Weightless Smooth Hold Gel. I love this. It does not leave my hair crunchy. I can use quite a bit of it and still not have that super crunchy feel, but a little bit does go a long way. And again, it's very, very affordable. And I do love also, let me see if I can do the call outs here, because I always love doing call outs that a lot of times we can associate affordable with either bad quality or bad ingredients. And while these two are definitely not the cleanest products out there, they don't contain mineral oil, sulfates, parabens, paraffins, silicones, phthalates, drying alcohol, and glycol. So I do like the call outs of that. And they also include the vitamin B complex. This one includes the organic shea butter, organic coconut oil, organic blue agave, organic flaxseed, and organic jojoba oil. I think that's how you pronounce that. So I love these two products. Again, they're very affordable and they just work really, really well. So I don't feel like I need to constantly be looking for a different gel that works, that holds my hair, but not give it that crunch. So I do love these two things. For hair stuff, I want to say that's everything. Like, I know that's kind of boring, but that's all I have for hair stuff. I tend to find something that works and then just stick to it. And I did finally found something that worked for hair, for like the hair mousse and stuff like that. So for, I want to say other bathroom type cabinet things, a brand that I've been using exclusively for a year now for toothpaste is Zebra. I love this brand so much. The only thing I do wish is that it came with a little bit more. I feel like there's quite a bit of air in here, which I could be totally wrong, but I do feel like it would be a little bit more, like a little fuller as far as the amount of product you get. But I love this. It works really well. It's very gentle. It does a really good job. We have the mint one, and then I also like the coconut mint one, but my husband prefers just the mint. And then my kiddos like, I want to say there's another, maybe this is the only flavor. I don't know. Anyway, the coconut one is also really good that my kiddos like. And then we also have the Zebra floss that's also really nice that we've been loving. And they also have the toothpaste little tablets. Now the toothpaste tablets are wonderful for traveling. So my family travels a lot in that spring and summer season, and so the tablets are something that's extremely travel friendly. It's not messy, and you can just like pop one in your mouth and use that as your toothpaste. And so I love this brand a lot. So that was a look at my morning and evening skincare routine, my hair products and things like that. The next thing I thought I would move into, since we're talking about bathroom stuff here, is my favorite makeup products. My makeup bag was just thrifted a while back, so it's something I've also had for a while, and I don't even want to say a while. I think I might have picked it up thrifted earlier this year, so in the spring I want to say I picked it up. But some of these products are ones that I have used for years. Some of them are new, some of them I've used for only a little bit, so we'll get into that. I thought I would go ahead and start with my makeup routine and what I do pretty much every single day. So we're gonna start with the base. I don't really wear foundation. However, a product I do love, and some might consider it foundation, it depends. I do love the e.l.f., I think it's called Halo Glow Liquid Filter, something like that. I love this product, I really do. It doesn't really give you a lot of coverage, but it gives you just enough to kind of smooth everything out. And it has that really nice glow. I will say that sometimes mixing this with this can be too much glow. So sometimes if on the days I do want to wear this, I will not use as much moisturizer. It depends. It depends on the day. It honestly is really pretty. So my routine looks like putting this on, and then I will go in depending on if I was up a lot with the baby and I wake up with dark circles, is I will use, again, this was mentioned in my last favorites video, the Pixi by Petra Brightening Peach like eye corrector. A little bit left in the bottom there, but it works really well. And this is something that when I first tried it, I wasn't a fan of until I realized that less is more. You only need a teeny tiny bit. I've had this one, I want to say longer than I probably should have, and I still have quite a bit of product in here. Like I've been using it for almost 2 years and there's still quite a bit of product, so definitely worth the money. So the next step in my routine is concealer. This is from the Lip Bar, the Quick Conceal Caffeine Concealer. I want to say this is also in last year's favorites video, but I want to say that last year it was a new found thing. This has been a consistent repurchase for me. I haven't had to repurchase it too much because it is full coverage, but it's also very creamy and hydrating, so it's not drying at all, which I love. I know as we get into our mid 30s, my start to get like wrinkles around my eyes and things like that. I'm looking for something that's hydrating, that covers really well, but you only need a tiny bit because I don't want to use a ton of concealer. It's just not what I want to do. But this one is beautiful. It is beautiful. I do want to mention a con though, because as I'm going through products, I'm going to try to be honest and share the cons as well, so you can decide for yourself. The con would be that the doe foot applicator, like what you like dip into the product with, it stops pretty much right here in the bottle. I don't know if you can tell. So there's actually quite a bit of product left in the bottom that I can't get out, and that's a huge con for me. This isn't necessarily a cheap product. It is, I want to say $15. I could be wrong. A little bit does go a long way. To me, it's worth the price because it works well, and it does last me quite a while. So what I ended up doing is to make this last even longer, because if you don't get that product out in the bottom, you're losing about 5 weeks, at least in my experience, about 5 weeks of product, which is a lot of product. I have just a cheaper concealer. I just got the Essence, what is this? The Essence Keep Me Covered. I don't really like this one. So what I ended up doing is I will take this out and then use a longer doe foot applicator to get the rest of this product out. And I have extended this because I almost do this away when I thought that there was no more product in it. And this is my 5th week using it after the day I decided to not throw it away. Because I was like, well, let me see if I can get more product out. And I'm now on week number 5 again of using it back when I thought I would throw it away. So just a reminder that sometimes the harder containers here where you can't really get your dough fit down in there. I love the actual consistency and I love the formula of it. I'm just not a fan of the packaging. So I did want to be honest with that. So the next thing I normally do after the base and concealer is I have a couple different bronzers. I think bronzers and blush are my 2 favorite kind of like makeup products right now. I kind of rotate between different things. But for bronzer right now, a couple that I am loving and using, and then one that I'm just kind of honestly trying to finish up so I don't waste it. My all-time favorite bronzer would have to be, well, these would actually honestly be tied, but the Merit bronzer stick. I've had this same stick for, I want to say maybe a year and a half. I had the shade Clay, and I love this because for one, it's just extremely convenient. You can open it up, you can dot it on, and then blend it out with a brush. But it's very creamy, it blends so easily, and it just blends into the skin, looks beautiful. It's not too glowy and it's not matte, it just has that perfect mix, and I love it. It's definitely worth all the hype that I see around it, and I love it. It is a little more pricey, however, I have used it multiple times a week for a year and a half, and there's still product left. So it's one of these things that I love traveling with, because I love traveling with stick products, things that I don't need to spend a lot of time with. I can literally just swipe it on and then go. So I love the Merit bronzer sticks. They're really, really beautiful. The other one that I have mentioned quite a bit on my channel is the Half Caked brand. This is in the shade Morning View. I love this one. This is actually the one I'm wearing today, and it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's just that perfect shade for my skin tone anyway. But it's from the brand, again, Half Caked. I've talked about their bronzers and their blushes quite a bit on my channel. I'm going to say the con would probably be if you don't like your makeup not drying down to a powder type format, you won't like this because it does not dry down completely. It will stay a little bit wet feeling throughout the day. But if you're okay with that, it's incredibly moisturizing. I tend to gravitate towards this brand a lot in the winter when my skin just needs a lot of moisture. And then in the summer, I will gravitate towards, of course, this, which is just so effortless, easy and go. And then I also am trying to finish up the Say, is that what it's called? Like, yes, I had the Sun Melt bronzer from Say, and I'm almost done. I don't want to say almost, there's still quite a bit of product, but I've had this for 2 years now, something like that, probably more, and I need to get rid of it, and I know I should probably throw it away because it's expired probably by now. I'm going to be honest and say I am still using it to try to get rid of it. And it's not that I don't love it. I actually do love this product. It's just a lot of product in here. So I would say that even though this is more expensive up front, you get so much product that this is probably the best value for your money when it comes to the amount of product you're getting. So really, these two are my favorite cream bronzers. I haven't really tried a lot of powder bronzers recently because I've just really been enjoying creams. So these are the two bronzers I love. And I want to say about Half Caked brand in general, I'm not a huge fan of their packaging. However, their products just work really well on my sensitive skin. They don't have any fragrance. They're much cleaner than any other cream product that I own. And I just really enjoy them. But again, they're not for everybody because they don't completely dry down. But all that to say is I do have quite a few shades of their blushes in this one as well. My favorite shade in their blush is definitely Tragic Kingdom. It's a very light peachy pink, and I'm sorry the pan is so messy. We'll ignore that, but I use that one a lot. The other cream blush that I love are the Pixie Sticks. I've had this one, and this is also a very messy thing. Not because it's just naturally messy, but because I've had it for a long time and I use it all the time. But this is a beautiful kind of like glowy blush, and it's beautiful really on all skin tones. What shade do I have here? I don't even know. Ruby, the shade Ruby. I really like this one. I also ended up picking up, this was probably last year. Yeah, the shade Juicy. And this is like an orangey corally tone. And I do like this one, but I really prefer this one. I think this one looks a little more natural personally. It's like that redder undertone. So for powder blush, one of my all-time favorites is from RMS Beauty. I tried this, I want to say I also tried it last year and had it in last year's favorites video, but this is really all I've been using recently with, of course, the two creams in here. But I just love this. It blends so easily. I feel like I don't have to work at all to blend into into my skin. It's what I'm wearing today. It's what I'm wearing honestly in a lot of my recent videos, just because it's so easy to put on. It blends, it sinks into the skin, and it looks like your skin, and I think it's beautiful. I have this shade, and it's my all-time favorite shade, but I have the shade French Rose, and this is so beautiful. It gives that really, really nice, healthy glow, kind of like light from within look that a lot of people talk about, and I love it. It's really, really pretty. I'm not normally a fan of powder blushes, and I have tried quite a few over the years, but none of them ever really seemed to like work with my skin. That's why I switched over to strictly cream blushes, but then I added in this one, and I'm so glad I gave it a try because I genuinely love this product, and it's a cleaner version of a lot of different other powder blushes out there, and it's beautiful. I do have the corally pinky version of this one as well, and one thing that I love about RMS and their packaging, for one, the packaging is beautiful. It has like the mirror and everything on it, but the actual compact itself, let me see if I can show you here, it actually pops out like so. So if you want to buy just the refill and save money on the actual compact, that is an option, and I love that they do that. I love this brand for blushes. What I will typically do if I am doing a more shimmery blush, plus if I'm doing a hydrating bronzer, I will normally not do any highlighter or any illuminizers or anything like that. However, my favorite one that I do love is also from RMS Beauty, and that is the Living Luminizer. This is beautiful. This is so, so pretty. I might try to do an up-close swatch for you guys because this is something that if you don't have glowy products but you still want like a glow to your skin, this is just a beautiful product. And I've had this one, I want to say for 1.5 years now, and I feel like I'm not even halfway through with it because a little bit goes a long, long way. I just love all of RMS Beauty's products in general because I feel like all of them go a little bit, like, a little goes a long way, I should say. So their illuminating Living Luminizer is beautiful. I love this product. So my next step is typically eyeshadow, and I've kind of gotten away from doing all the eyeshadow palettes. I'm working my way through, this is from, it's on Licia, is that the name of it? I got this also off of iHerb, but I'm working my way through this. There's a couple of like shadows I've gone completely through, and the shimmer shades on here are beautiful. It's just not something I reach for all the time. I've been gravitating towards single shadows, especially this one is one that I'm wearing non-stop. It's what I'm wearing today as well, and that is the Bare Minerals loose eyeshadows, and I don't even remember what shade this is. I'll see if I can link it down below. I want to say it's something skin related. Anyway, it's a beautiful kind of like natural pinky mauve tone, and I love it. Again, it's all I've been wearing. It's the one and done eyeshadow where I don't put any toppers on, nothing, just this, and I love it. So I've been traveling with this all summer. I love it. Really, my favorite staples for our travel, because so much of our life is traveling, so I refer to it a lot. So sorry if that gets old, but having a single eyeshadow, a single bronzer stick, and then a favorite blush, and then a favorite mascara is really everything that I took with us. So I had a very small little makeup pouch, and I had a few staples in there that I just loved, and this was one of the ones that I took with me everywhere. And last thing that I typically do is eyebrows, and I'm also, not that you can tell, but I'm also not a fan of like eyebrow products, and that's just not my thing. So, but yes, the two things I do use if I take the time is the just e.l.f. Wow Brow. It's like a tinted brow gel that I just like throw in and call it a day. Again, I don't take the time to do too much with them. I probably should, but I don't. And then the other thing I kind of do is the e.l.f. Brow Lift, which is like the brow gel. So it depends what I feel like doing and whether or not I do it. So those are the only two eyebrow products that I have. So the next thing I'm gonna jump into is our medicine cabinet. A lot of these things are tried and true. I have used for quite literally years. A couple of them are brand new to us, and I'm gonna kind of tell you why they're brand new and why we're including them in today's video. But I thought I would go ahead and start with a tried and true, like this is just something that works well for everyone in my family. It is a homeopathic medicine, and we take this when we travel as almost a preventative during those winter months or those early spring months when that flu season is really just rampant. And it's really hard to avoid being sick when you're in larger crowds, especially in the February through April months are just so difficult. And again, we'll get into our experiences with that this year in another video. But this has been a wonderful thing to always have on hand. Typically, if we are traveling and I feel the slightest like headache, sniffles, nasal congestion coming on, I will take this the next day, completely fine. And same with my little ones. If we have any type of congestion happening, we have those sniffles, we're starting to feel just like achy, we'll take a little tablet and then it'll just go away the next day. So this is an incredible thing to always have on hand, but especially in the flu season, it's hard. Like the flu season is just so hard to navigate. So that's one of my favorite homeopathic medicine things. So the next thing I wanted to share that is also homeopathic related, and I know homeopathy can have a lot of mixed reviews and a lot of just like controversy around it, but I'm gonna say in all transparency that homeopathy has worked really, really well for our family. When I first started using it, I wasn't really good at diagnosing according to the symptoms, and in order for homeopathy to work, you have to give the right protocol for exactly the symptom you're experiencing. Otherwise, it will not work. Your body won't recognize it as needing to fight off that thing, if that makes sense. So what I ended up buying is I had this little homeopathy chart that I want to say I got it off of Amazon as well. And there are very, very specific details. So if your little one, for example, has a cough, there's going to be different remedies for different symptoms of said cough. So if you have a sudden dry cough that also has thirst and a fever, it's going to give you a remedy to have with it. If you have a headache, thirst, fever, chest pains with the cough, it's going to have the remedy and then how much to give and how often to give. A wonderful resource, a wonderful tool if you are wanting to do more homeopathic remedies in your home, but you're not sure how to get started or what to use what for. In my homeopathic collection here, which I'll show you here in a minute, has been built up slowly over the past probably 3 years, honestly, because every time we've had a new symptom, I'll just go ahead and purchase that. Extremely affordable. Most remedies are anywhere from like $6 to $8, most of them. Very, very affordable. So as long as you have a chart like this where it tells you your exact symptom, you can then get the remedy for it and build your medicine cabinet up slowly. But this is what I travel with now, to be honest. I travel with this and then my homeopathics, which I'll show you here in a second. But even for headaches, it's very specific. Like if you want your remedy to actually work, you do have to use the exact remedy for the exact what you are working to get anyway. I'm sorry for all the flies. I knew there would be flies. So for headaches, if it's sudden pain, congested feeling, or anxiety induced, or thirst involved with it, you'll use one remedy. For another headache, if there's throbbing pain, a hot head, flushed face, dilated pupils, you're going to use a whole nother remedy. And what I love about homeopathy is you can use it for little babies all the way up to adults, and it's a gentle approach to helping your body and giving your body the support to be able to fight off things naturally, which I love. Which moves into my next thing here is with this chart. This has been my #1 guide for using homeopathy all year long. Is I also have this little roll up things I store all of my little tubes in for all my remedies. I love it. This is one of those things where I also travel with because it does fold up pretty good and I don't have to worry about them falling over everywhere. But I have all of my little remedies in here for all the little symptoms and whatnot. It has the bottom part. I have all the allergy stuff here at the bottom for my son and all the ones on the top. There's a handful of tubes missing because of the ones that are actively being used right now. But I love it, and it's given me a peace of mind too to know that for all of the more major cases, whether it be constipation, headaches, nerve injuries, nosebleeds, anything like that, that I have something in here that I can take with this, and it's portable, and I have all those remedies with this so I can toss in my diaper bag and go and feel like I'm taking care of my family well. So I love homeopathy. Again, it can be slightly controversial, and I do understand, but it's just worked really well for my family. But it did not work well until I realized that you have to be very specific with combining the exact antidote for what you're experiencing. So it's been a wonderful blessing in our home. That's why I'm a huge fan of things like this, and then homeopathy, things like this that work really, really well, and I love it. Another medicine thing, or a couple of other medicine things I should also mention is I get a lot of things from a different pharmacy online. It's a homeopathic medicine, and this company is in Germany. You can't even buy it in the US. but this is called, it's I guess the short term for it would be a ferrum faucet, and I also have this in those pebble forms. However, this one specifically is wonderful for if you have that really bad cough that you just can't seem to get rid of, that chesty cough after you've been sick. Would be the ferrum, I can't even pronounce it, but it's the short word is ferrum faucet 3x or 3 times. And again, I'll link it down below. The company I get a lot of my homeopathy stuff for. Do expect it to take a few weeks to get to you because the company is in Germany, but the pharmacy that puts all these homeopathic remedies together is wonderful and really high quality. So I'm sharing that, and I don't even know if I can share it here on YouTube, but I am for that. The other preventative things that I am adding in this year is 2 things that I've heard a lot of people talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. But these are new things. Now, I have used them in the past separately, but not together. But I've heard a lot of people talk about the Beekeeper's Naturals Immune Support. And the way I've heard a lot of people talk about it is to use the nasal spray and the throat spray together every single day in the winter when you are going to be going out and about. Because as long as we keep our nasal passages moist and then our throat coated with this, then the probability of picking up something goes way down. I'm not sure the science behind it, but I do know nasal spray specifically, when we breathe in all those germs and everything, if we keep this moist, and hopefully that will cut back a lot on that. I'm trying to do a lot of research in preventative things, hence my homeopathy kits, and these things are things that we'll definitely be traveling with come spring, just because of our past experience this year. Was very difficult, and we'll get into that in a later video. But these are 2 things that I just added to our medicine cabinet as a huge preventative measure, just so we can have that on hand. Another thing that I have recently added, let me see if I can find it here, is the Highland. It's called PRID. It's pain relief and irritant drawing salve. This is wonderful. My son just used this he had a little splinter on his toe that wasn't coming out. We put some of this on there, and then a couple of days later it came to the surface of his skin, and he practically was able to wipe it away. This is a wonderful thing if you have little ones that love running outside bare feet, or they're prone to splinters or things like this. A wonderful tool to just toss into your bag, to have on hand in your medicine cabinet for things like that. Okay, so that was body, skincare, homeopathy stuff, medicine stuff. Another couple of household things that are completely random, but things that I use very regularly would be the Fels Naphtha laundry bars. And I do make my own detergent every now and then. It depends what season of life I am and if I remember to get it. But I have a recipe, and I'll link it down below. It is the borax, the washing soda, and then this is like finely ground up, and then mix in with that, and then you can just throw a little spoon of it into your washing machine. I have yet to find a better stain remover. It has just been incredible. I will get some really hot water, wet the spot on the carpet, because it's normally for carpets around here for our rugs. We have a lot of wool rugs in our home, and so they're harder to clean, but this gets everything out every single time, and I love it. But anyway, as I was saying, I will take a hot rag, wet the spot down with the hot water, and then rub this on it, and it just completely comes out in a matter of seconds. I love this so much when it comes to getting stains out of pretty much anything, but specifically carpets. Another thing, moving into like random kitchen stuff, is a coffee that I have been loving, and I love the company and I love the taste of the coffee. But that is 7 Weeks Coffee. I discovered them at a Teach Them Diligently convention, I want to say last year or 2 years ago. I forget, it might have been 2 years ago. But it's pro coffee, pro life. And the coffee tastes incredible. I actually have a 7-week subscription that I use for this, and I love it. But I wanted to share in case you're looking for a good, high-quality coffee, but you're not supporting anything that you might not believe in. And I love it. So the reason why it's called 7 Weeks is it is a value-based business. At 7 weeks of development, a baby is the size of a coffee bean, and for the first time, the baby's heartbeat is clearly detectable. So that's why it's called 7 Weeks Coffee. So I love supporting the business. The couple that owns it is very sweet. I got to meet them again, I think 2 years ago. So yes, I love this coffee brand. So I thought I would go ahead and move on to books, music, Bible study resources, and things like that. The first one is a brand new purchase of mine, and it's one that I'm only a third of the way through, but have thoroughly been enjoying. And that is a book called Helping Your Kids Know God's Good Design by Elizabeth Urbanowicz. She is the creator and founder of Foundation Worldview. It's the apologetics curriculum that I do online with my little ones, and I absolutely love love it. This is a book that I picked up from hers at a conference that I went to just recently here. And I'll read a little bit of the back so you can get an idea of what it is. But in today's pervasively secular culture, it's more essential than ever to guide your children toward a biblical worldview on all issues, including the complex topics of sexuality and gender. But as a parent, how do you have these discussions in an informed, age-appropriate, and Christ-centered way? So this how-to handbook equips you to talk about all of the things and the Bible with your children between the ages of 4 and 12 with confidence and nuance. Inside, you'll find biblically grounded answers to some of Christians' parents' most common questions. So this is one I'm really, really excited about. I'm really diving deeply into right now. And I really wanted to share it with you guys in case you are needing a resource to help guide you to have those discussions with your little ones. So it is a new favorite kind of tool of mine that I also wanted to share. The next favorite thing is from the company Kaleidoscope. This is the Gospel of John, the Living Water book. I ended up getting the book and then the Yoda card to go along with it. I love this concept. I love the idea of this entire thing where they can go through the Gospel of John and read along with their Yoda cards. My kiddos love their Yoda players. I do need to do a designated video of some of our favorite cards that our family has loved, but I might save that for like a Christmas suggestion video. I'm not sure, but we love our Yoda players so much. We just really, really love them. And I was really happy to see the Yoda cards there. And again, the company is called Kaleidoscope. I will have the actual company link down below for you to check out because it's a small business, and I love supporting the actual business if I can. So they have the Yoda cards and then the Gospels that you can read along together with your little ones. So the last thing that I ended up picking up at this conference is by far going to be one of my favorite things for I hope and pray for years to come. It is my dream collection of music. And when I say my dream collection, it is the Sing Getty's hymnal. I love this so much. So I have been listening to the Getty's music for, I want to say, the past 2 decades. I've loved their music. I've always found it to be so encouraging, uplifting, God-honoring. I just loved all of their hymns. They make beautiful, beautiful music. And as someone who loves playing piano and violin, this was like, again, my dream volume. I could not have chosen a more perfect music thing to add into my life. I love playing piano, only I had lost pretty much all of my piano music and different moves and everything like that. And over time, I slowly started building my collection, but it's been on like musicnotes.com print-offs, and then over time, those same print-offs kind of get lost in the mix of paper messes, and you know how it is. So the fact that I have my own bound volume of my all-time favorite songs just makes me so happy and excited, and I just love it. The last 2 book-related items is, the first one is the scripture journal. I have the Psalms. This has been a wonderful addition that I've really honestly been taking with us for our travel season this year. It's something that you can go through the entire book of Psalms. There's journaling pages in here, so you really go through every single verse, every single chapter. A lot of the times, sometimes I will even just copy word for word, and then other times it'll be, what God is showing me through the verse and things like that. But having a designated Psalms type journaling Bible setup has just been beautiful. It's been so beautiful this year to go through all the Psalms and truly dive into all the meanings and all of just like the different verses, and I've just been really, really enjoying it. So the last book I wanted to mention, and I'll probably go ahead and mention one more after this, but the next book I want to mention is Michael's Gentle Wife by Karen Andriola. There's a little bit of a backstory to this book, and I'm going to share it here. As far as like how I came to get this book, is Karen Andriola actually reached out to me and asked me if I would like to read this and review it here on my channel. And if you guys have been around my channel for a while, you know that this past spring, kind of like late spring, early summer, I had a miscarriage. And there was a couple of companies that reached out to me during that 2-week time of finding out that we lost baby and then passing baby, that just completely made me so happy during a time that was just really, really difficult in my life. And Karen Andriola had an email that came through during that really difficult couple of weeks there for me, a really difficult season in general. And she asked me to review this. And when I first got the email, I remember going to my husband like, you'll never guess who reached out to me. Like, I've been a fan of Karen Andriola's Mother Culture, which I've shared for years here on my channel. I've been a fan of her work and especially Mother Culture for years. So the fact that she reached out to me and emailed me was like a dream collaboration. It truly, truly was. And it was such a highlight, again, in the midst of a really difficult season for me. So this is why I always am gonna think of this collaboration very fondly, because it was just a beautiful highlight. It truly, truly was. Anyways, thank you, Karen, for sending this to me. I truly appreciate the opportunity to read this and to review this for you. I know you had no idea what was going on in my life at the time, but it was truly such a highlight, and I really, really appreciate it. Anyway, this story is about Michael and Carol Weaver, who have been married for 12 years. They're raising 3 children, juggling work and home, and learning what it means to love one another in the everyday rhythm of life. Carol is devoted to her family, but like so many of us, she often feels weary, stretched thin by responsibilities, tempted by comparison, and unsure if her quiet work really matters. Through her gentle storytelling, and I love Karen Andriola's storytelling abilities, is she invites us to truly walk beside Carol. She invites us as mamas to really pause to see how God uses even those smallest moments to shape a woman's heart. And in this story, we watch as Carol learns to pause before speaking harshly, to listen with love, and to pray through frustration. We also see her discover that gentleness isn't weakness, it's strength under the Lord's control. And we also, in this story, we learned about Michael, which is her husband, and we learned about how he carries the weight of providing for his family, yet he's still steady and kind, but not without his own faults. And like so many marriages, theirs faces moments of misunderstanding and hurt. But what shines through in this story is truly forgiveness. It's that quiet, steady kind that grows when 2 people choose to love as Christ loves. This story, which is one of the reasons why I love it as well, is set in the small town of Appleton. So Michael's gentle wife really feels, from my personal experience, like a deep breath for the soul. There's no rush here, and it's just the steady heartbeat of home. There's family dinners, bedtime prayers, and the kind of contentment that comes when you realize that God is truly in every single detail. As you read, you can't help but see pieces of yourself in Carol. It's her desire to do right, her longing to be a gentle wife, and her slow, steady growth in grace. So by the end of the story, you'll find your own heart softened too, reminded that God's greatest work in our lives often happen in the unseen places. Another thing that I have learned now that I'm finishing up the story here is that because true gentleness doesn't come from trying harder, it comes from letting God change us from the inside out. And when He does, our homes, our marriages, and even our children's hearts are quietly transformed, and I love it. This is definitely a little bit of a longer read. However, it's worth it. It's so worth it to have this beautiful image of what that Christ-centered home looks like, but also realize that everyone, even with the Christ-centered home, even with that beautiful, like that beauty and grace in homes, are going to struggle too. But it's just like, how do we overcome those struggles, and how do we come out at the end of it? It's just a beautiful, beautiful story. But it's called Michael's Gentle Wife, a family love story, and I highly recommend picking it up, especially when you're going into the fall here, and if you're a book reader and like physical books, it definitely was something to read over the winter. This was my main summer read, and I'm so incredibly thankful again to Karen for sending it my way. So first, if you're still watching, thank you. I know this video is probably really long, but there was one more thing that I ended up getting at that conference I was really excited about, and it is a home decor item. And I want to say, let me check the name of the company really quick. It's called the Thai Village Handmade Crafts. But Thai Village is a nonprofit organization based in Thailand. We develop long-term relationships with local people and produce handmade crafts that reflect their diverse cultures. By purchasing this item, you help to provide training and employment to low-income people, support for Christian outreach and education, and opportunity to share God's love and community. I loved this business. I will have this company linked down below. I love what they do. I love everything they stand for, and their products are beautifully made. Everything is handmade. I ended up picking up this Holy Week banner, and it goes through the entire Holy Week. So you start at the top and you go all the way to the bottom. But I thought it was beautifully done. It is handmade. I really liked the colors, and I just love the fact that it is a Holy Week. So they said it was like an Easter theme, but I'm going to be hanging it up year round. And then they also have a Christmas like nativity version of this as well. But I love it. It's something that I am going to be again displaying all year because I think it is so pretty, and it has a twine and everything that you can hang on it. But I love it. I really, really, really love it. And I love that I'm supporting just a beautiful, beautiful cause by buying something like this. So I wanted to highlight that, and I did pick this up at the conference as well. I just forgot to mention it. So a couple of dresses I ended up picking up. I love shopping on ThredUp if I'm looking for specific brands or specific styles. Otherwise, I'm just strictly thrifting, to be honest. And ThredUp is an online thrift store. But I will also say that with them, I only shop when they have really big sales. So I'll shop their Black Friday sale probably coming up, and they'll do a couple, random sales throughout the year where they'll have anywhere from 70 to 80% off. And that's when I'll typically shop. If you don't shop on ThredUp during their actual sales, I find it not to be that great of a deal, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, but when they do have sales, wonderful deals can be found, and there's thousands of items to choose from. One of my favorite brands that I have loved for years has been Matilda Jane. I love all things Matilda Jane. Like, their little girl clothes are darling. It's just not something I would spend that much money on brand new, to be perfectly honest. But I did find several let me see if I can stand up and I'll show you. I don't think I'll have time to try them on today, but this first one is a Matilda Jane, and it's like a long sleeve tiered. I don't know if you can actually see it, probably not, but really, really pretty. And then I also found this Matilda Jane. Again, I don't know if you can see it, but they're just really fun, simple dresses. And the red one here, this one is actually not a Matilda Jane. It's just, I don't even know the brand, Mauve. Oh, Mauve by Anthropologie, I think, something like that. But it's just, again, another flowy dress. I was trying to find long sleeve kind of like flowy dresses for winter, because whenever they're flowy and they don't have like a tight waist or anything, they're really fun to wear leggings underneath and then with boots. I love doing that, especially in the fall and winter. But I just thought they were really, really pretty. I like the skirt on this one because it's like a high-low skirt for this one. But yes, so Matilda Jane is one of the brands that I do consistently look for when it comes to shopping on ThredUp. So I guess the last thing I wanted to mention is I ended up buying this little separate purse strap. I don't know if you can see it. It's really pretty. And I didn't realize, to be honest, that you could buy separate straps like this. And it doesn't match perfectly, as you can tell. But the reason why I got a new strap for my purse is I have this vintage, it's like a Coach leather satchel bag, and I love it. And fun thing about this bag is my husband found it for me at a yard sale like 4 years ago. And it was only, well, he got 3 purses for $5. So it was the equivalent of, what is that, like under $2. So he ended up getting this for under $2 at a yard sale. And it came with like the heavy duty chain. Like, if you can tell, I don't know if you can tell on camera here, but this chain is like really thick. The entire strap that was on it had this really heavy chain. And while it was incredible quality and it was nice and heavy, it just was not comfortable to wear. So as soon as that chain, like the little leather pieces around the chain, started falling apart or fraying a little bit, because I used it almost every day for 4 years, I decided to get a replacement for it. So I cut off the original chain, which is a big no-no, I guess, for vintage bags, but I'm not really a bag person, nor I don't really care. Anyway, I found a strap to go on it, and I really, really liked it because I got to keep my bag that I love and don't really want to replace anytime soon, and still get a strap on it that's honestly really, really comfortable. So I was really excited about that. So I get to keep a bag that I'll probably use, honestly, for a really, really long time. Again, I'm not a bag person. I just love leather bags, and if it shows no sign of wearing out, I'll keep it for as long as I can. But anyway, I wanted to show you this strap, and then I got a strap for my daughter. Let me show you here really, really quickly. And I got a replacement strap for her purse because she really liked mine, and it's more like that bright, colorful little embroidery here. But I thought it was really, really pretty, and she loves it too. And this is a really, really fun way to switch out bags or purses with a different look without buying a whole new bag. So if you like a bag a lot and you don't want to spend the money on a brand new one, that's a way to extend the life on it anyway. All right, so I think that was everything that I wanted to share with you guys today. I will again try to have everything linked down below. If there's smaller businesses here that I did buy things from, I'm going to have that specific business linked down below instead of the Amazon link, just so you can support them in case you are wanting to make any purchases. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. I have to go and get dinner started for my family. And until my next video, you guys have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye guys.